All right, so welcome back to White House Farm. What we're working on today, or I should say my buddy is, the newbie, he's gonna learn how to do brakes on here. So he's gonna be a first time brake installer. And I'm gonna be the brains, he's gonna be the brawn. Because unfortunately, I'm out on injury. So this is a 2014 Mazda 3, and it's a hatchback. And he's going to learn how to do the front brakes and rotors. And go ahead and tell us what was happening with the vehicle.
Yeah, so as I was driving, I just noticed about a week ago, as I'm braking, I get a pulsing sensation, and I'm like just kind of jerky as I'm stopping. I'm still able to brake, but it's just pulsing as I come to a stop, and just wanted to get it checked out and get it taken care of.
Yeah. So $700 plus job at the dealership. We went over 150 bucks for all the parts, everything we need. Gonna get it done, and he's gonna learn something and save more money in the future because he'll be able to do it. So let's go ahead and get the jack under there and get this jacked up. We'll take that tire off and start getting to work. He's gonna learn.
Right now I'm just pushing on stuff.
Look, you even got a White House Farm chicken. That's an impact right there. Yep. You ever use one of them?
Nope.
Okay, so basically, really simple.
This is my training for NASCAR for speed changes.
Yeah. This is the tighten, and then you're gonna press this button in here, and that's gonna loosen. Okay. And that's what you want it on. And so what size socket is that?
13/16.
So remember that for future reference. You're 13/16 for your lug nuts. So, and this is gonna just slip on the end there. Lines right up. Yeah, you push it right on. There you go. Now it's on there. Now make sure it's in the right direction because we're taking it off.
Loosey.
Yep.
Loosey.
Give it a little spin. Yep. There you go. And now go ahead and get it on there. And you can go ahead and pop that sucker right off of there. Yep, keep going. It'll spin right off. There you go. And if it's really tight on there, pull this off. I'll show you a little trick. And then I'll thread it back on there a little bit. Make sure it's on a good amount of threads. And okay, so that's good. And now we'll get a little, unless you can hit it off by hand, try hitting it.
Like this.
Yeah. If not, we'll get it like a little, yep. And then hit it up and down, side to side. You should be able to pull it off. If not, we'll grab a little hammer. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And let's grab our magnet tray. Okay. Give it a good kick. Here, go like this, get the back of your foot. Give it a good kick right there, like hard. All right. So, yep, so hold on a second. So what we have right here is something I always preach about in all my other videos. This is why you put a little bit of Never Sees behind that rim on there, on that hub, because you're on the side of the road and you need to change a flat tire or something, and it's rusted on there like that, you're in trouble. So we're gonna go ahead and get the mallet here and we're gonna whack it off. Stay on your tire. I mean, like, you need to like smack it.
Yeah. This thing's on there, huh?
That's rusted on there. That's. Here, buddy. You need to really. That's how you got to do it.
All right.
Can't be gentle with it. All right. Lift it up to And this is just a precaution, just in case the jack fails or something like that. Make sure it's under steel, under the frame, and then lift that. You want to spray your caliper bolts here. You want to spray this top, this whole area where these nuts are. And there's one on the bottom.
Yep.
You're going to spray that, and we're going to let that soak for a bit. Soak that whole thing. Soak it up really good. Yep. Yeah, get those two, and then get the two at the bottom. And this is where I was talking about where you want to put some of that never sees. You can see how the rust spots here, that's where the rim was held on and it was hard to get off. All right, so we can also tell all these ripple, this should be smooth, and you could actually, you can see and feel all the grooves and ripples. Here, come here. Feel that. Run your finger across there and you can feel that. And
oh yeah.
so that's where you're pulsing, and because it's not wearing right, which means, you know, obviously we're replacing brake pads and rotors, but you can just feel that and feel how bumpy and that's what causes like the pulsing and stuff like that, because it's not a smooth stop. It's skipping, almost like skipping, pulsing.
Oh yeah, I can feel it for sure.
And that's like the number one thing. If you're feeling pulsing, normally it's your rotors. 13? Yep, that's a 13. You don't want to start there. You want to get this, here, take this off. Get it up here because you want some leverage.
Mm-hmm. Use my body weight. Yep.
There you go. Perfect. See? That's why I always PB blast. Makes jobs a lot easier, especially with rusty parts.
That works like a charm.
So where this rubber piece is here.
Yep. Same thing on the bottom.
Same thing on the bottom. Go ahead and get that off. Nice.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
But see if you can see how this is on here.
Yeah.
Nothing's holding this on. Oh, see how I can kind of.
A little bit.
You're gonna hang on to it because remember this. You want to be careful. This is your brake line right here, so you don't want to like rip this off. You want to take it off, and then that's what the bungee's for. Then we're gonna bungee this up so that there's no pressure on your brake line here.
Okay.
Otherwise, you'll break your brake line, and that's not fun.
We'll gradually just pull this away.
Yep. Yep. There you go.
Baby it.
Yep. Yep. Same thing. And the bottom should come out too. Just slip it. Try and keep it on a good angle. Yep. And where's that bungee? There we go. That way it's out of the way. Now you can go ahead. Holding this part of the caliper on is 2 bolts. There's one up here. It's going to be a different size, so you're going to have to find the socket to match up with that.
It actually feels good. 17 feels pretty good. I think that's going to work.
17?
Yeah.
Okay. So same thing. Go ahead and get that off. You got one on top, and same thing. You got one on the bottom. Okay. If that's tight and you can't get it by hand, let's grab the breaker bar. Remember, folks, it's all about leverage. Yep. There you go.
Yep.
Let it go down all the way. Yeah. Now start cranking it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just took a second, but yeah.
Yep. There you go. Use a piece of pipe or a breaker bar. Either one will work, but he's got it. He's learning.
Yeah, getting there.
Rusty parts of the Northeast.
I can feel the grittiness of the rust as I'm cranking this thing.
And that's another reason why I put PB Blast on everything. It helps out.
Come right up.
There we go. Now just one more at the bottom there. We got that one right there.
Couldn't have done that without the pipe. I don't think.
It's all about leverage. There we go. Now you should be able to get it by hand. And we'll get that off. All right. Now same thing. You should be able to pull that off now. You should be able to pull it off straight. If not, you can take a flathead screwdriver and stick it in here and kind of pry it.
Just straight to me?
Yep. Like, there you go. Yep. Yep, wiggle it right out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And, yeah, let's take a look at it.
In the sun?
Yep. So there we go, and you kind of see some scar marks in there. especially on this side. You can see how it's cracked. See those cracks in there?
Yeah.
So yeah, the brake pads were, I mean, more than likely they were getting messed up because the rotor was messed up.
Rotor looks like it's seen better days.
Yeah. This is new hardware here though, when they replaced these not too long ago. So we might be able to just wire brush these up, and then we'll get some never sees in there, put the new brake pads in. But also we'll check your slides on here. These actually, we'll take these out and we'll grease these up so they're nice. These actually pull off. There's here, got it? There we go. So the grease actually looks pretty decent, but we'll put some new never sees in there, and then we'll slap these back on. That way everything slides smoothly. That's what you want. You want the caliper to be able to slide open and close easily. So while we're in here, you might as well get it done.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get this rotor off. All right, so the moment of truth. They actually have a screw hole in here, a lot of people don't know, and you could put a bolt in there and tighten it down, and it'll back off your rotor from the hub. Or hopefully you should be able to pull it off. But we're replacing this rotor, so we can even hammer it off. So those are your different options. So go ahead and grab a hold of that and see if it will come off. Hopefully it will. No? All right. So here's another little trick. Since we're replacing the rotor, we're not worried about bashing it or about hitting it or anything like that. Go ahead and grab your lug nuts, and you're gonna put them on just so they cover your threads. Here. Just get them on there, you know, a little bit. That way, when you're whacking at this, if you accidentally come in here and hit, you don't want to hit a thread and screw that up. These will protect it. And we're gonna whack around the rotor here, give it some good whacks. It may loosen up. And hit this side over here, get some good whack. There we go. Perfect. So now we can go ahead and take the lug nuts off there, and that rotor will come right off. It's the right size. Perfect. And go ahead and open up one of those boxes there. Go ahead. Here, flip it back over. You could slap that right on top of it, just to... That look bigger?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they put on the wrong size rotors for you.
Think so?
And this is why you always double check your parts before opening and going through them. Yeah, let's take a ride back over to... So, a lot of people, new timers like yourself, might not know this. These come from the factory with oil on them to prevent rusting, just sitting in the plastic and in the boxes. So you want to take some brake clean and spray the entire surface here, and then just wipe it down. And we'll also, once these are installed, we're going to do that again, because you'll be handling and moving the caliper and you end up touching it. So just give it a spray all around. Yep, that's good. And then use the paper towels and just rub it all in there and get the oils off. And then flip it over and do the other side. This is the correct part number for these. These are, I believe, the 280 millimeter. We ended up getting the 295s, and obviously when we compared them, that's why you always double check, they were the wrong size. So these are the right ones for this vehicle. Yep, and that's it. And that gets held on by the caliper itself and the bracket. So it won't stay, it'll stay loose like that until you throw everything back together. You want to inspect your rubber here, make sure there's no cracks or anything like that. Rubber actually looks pretty decent and good. if you did have holes or anything like that, you'd want to go ahead and either have your caliper rebuilt or just get a new caliper. I mean, they're pretty cheap nowadays. But it actually looks decent, looks good. Yeah, you can put it back behind. So you can see which way the pads are facing on here. So you can either take pictures, or if you can remember how it is, that's how they're going to go back in. And if all else fails, you got it apart and you can't remember, you have another side you can look at. You have your passenger side. So that's a big thing when you're doing drum brakes. If you mess up springs or not sure what stuff, you always got the other side to look at if you didn't take pictures or can't remember. So these pads are going to go on here like that. See how it's rounded here? So the rounds are going to follow each other. This is rounded. See how that's rounded?
Mm-hmm.
And this is rounded. It's curved. And that's how they're going to go on there.
Okay.
Another thing I'm going to point out, these are your squealers. See that? That's when the brake pad starts getting worn. That's what makes your squealing noise. And now if you notice on here, where your slide bolts are is where you have a squealer, but none over there. So there's a squealer for each side. So when you put the pads back in, remember, rounded part up here, and then a squealer towards your slides here. So this is basically going to go right there. Mm-hmm. So go ahead and pull each of those off there. Hang on, put them on this. Yep. Yep, there you go. And now you can try pressing these together. Hopefully they'll pop out in the center. Yep, you get it. And they fit tight in there, so yep, there you go. There's one. And then same thing, try and push it through. Maybe tight, so you may need to give it a little knock here. Got it? Mm-hmm. Alright, now we'll just inspect the hardware inside here, which these were new when they went in, so it wasn't too long ago. We'll go ahead and sand these out. So it does come with new hardware if you do need it, but these aren't rusted out, broken or anything, and they're probably, what, 6 months you said?
No, a little more than that,
but they're in good shape. So, but if you do need to replace them, this is what you'll need to do. Got them cleaned up nice. They look brand new again. So now, here we go. Do you remember which brake pad goes where?
Yeah, we're gonna have. This guy's got a. Let's see. I think I do. Where's the bend? There's the bend, so it's gonna go match the bend.
Yep, it's gonna match the bend. But now remember, one has a squealer on it. And you wanna be careful. You wanna try and just hold the brake pads on the sides. You wanna try to avoid hitting any part of the brake pad or scratching or setting it down on hard surfaces, because you don't want that getting messed up. So flip this back over, and remember that part that faces us, where the slides are, is where your squealer is. So that's gonna sit. You're gonna get that so it fits in there.
Okay.
But first we gotta put some never sees right in there and right in there, and that's gonna help it slide. Right in there. And a little bit right in there. And same thing up top here. Right in there. And right in. Got it in there. And you want it toward the edge out here, because you got to make room when you put this on for your rotor to be able to fit in between these two. So got our brake pads on now. Got the lube on. It's all cleaned up. And now we can go ahead and clean out our slides here. So there's our two slides. And all you're going to do here, you're going to go ahead and take all that old grease off there, and we'll check it, make sure they're not rusty and stuff, but they actually look pretty decent. So, yep, get all that off there. And then we're gonna apply some new Never Sees on there. Yep, and just around the whole thing, just try not to get it up past the rubber. Yep, get the slide that back in, and then you're just gonna twist like that, and then the rubber's back on there now. And then to test it, you just go, look at that. See how that springs back? Because that's a good rubber piece on there too. Also, you want to check for cracks and stuff in that. But now that's on there, and look at where when they were in there originally, they weren't springing back like that. Yep, so same thing. Kind of rest it. Here, set it right up here. That way you're using the vehicle to...
Yeah.
And now you want to take your brake pad and see how this is out. We want this flush with here. So that's going to go right there just like that. And yep, you got to loosen it all the way up and get that piece so it's on the inside. Yeah. A little more. There you go. All right. And now all you're going to do is just tighten it up. And you'll be able to watch. That'll start getting sucked in. There it goes. Look at that. Doing good.
Yep.
Nice and tight. Looks like it's all the way in there.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and loosen that up.
Loosen this one?
Yep. And you can take it right out of there. Okay. Pull it right out. Yep. So now we can go ahead and, yeah, everything looks good with that. Looks nice and flush. You can put that to the back now where it was hanging. Now we can put the rotor back on and we'll start assembling everything.
All right.
And this is going to go on inside there this way. See this and this is going to line up with this and this, okay? So that's going to slip in there. Yep.
Like that?
Yep. Lift it up. Get it in there. And you may need to, in the back here, because you know how those are springy? You may need to depress them a little bit to get them to fit. See, look at right here. You may have to press them in a little bit and that side to get them to slip in there. Yeah, and it should slide down. And once you got them lined up, perfect. Now you can go ahead and those two bolts. Here, you get that one. This one, just get them started in there. You don't need to worry about tightening them right now. This is just to get it started in there. And get them as far as you can. Which they seem to be going down pretty good. Okay. So now, let's make sure, yep. Make sure those are, this is the only time you really, and I got, well, cleaner gloves. Now, you're going to take this, and this is going to flip back over, hang on to it. And you want, try not to get this like centered over, because your rotor is going to fit right in between here. Get it centered right over the rotor. And it's, you have to line up, here, let me hold this for a second. You know where those bolts are, see that right there? That has to line up in the back where the bolts go in. Okay. So get this over your rotor and then line it up there. Yep. Yeah, and this will swing down. So get that top part lined up. I'll give you a bolt. We'll get that top bolt in.
Right here?
No, right here. See?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Yep, and here, I got this. Just get it lined up. Or if you want to, right there, you should be able to.
Yeah, you're good. You can let go. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, it's just a matter of finessing it in there. So we got our 4 bolts back in for the caliper. Got our rotor on now. Now we just need to go ahead and tighten all 4 of these bolts up now. Yep, that's good. That's good. And you got the bottom one?
Oh, I didn't do these ones yet. Yeah, I did the bottom one. Yep.
So you got, So
This one?
this one and then the top one, which line up, correct?
Yep.
Those are your big bolts. And then these are for your slides. These ones here. So go ahead and tighten those up. And just, you don't need to crank down on the, yep, it's different size. So now we're just gonna go ahead and hit the rotor once again with some brake clean. Make sure we get any brake dust or anywhere we touched on there. Now we're gonna go ahead and, because you saw how much trouble we had getting that tire off, we're gonna put some Never Sees here, 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 and here. And same thing was done on the back side, which we'll show you on the other side as well. So you don't want to touch you don't want to touch these. Here, go like this. You want to take it and get this whole inside like that. Just stay away from your lugs here. Same as the driver's side, and hopefully not as much rust. Hopefully it'll come off a little easier. If not, you now know the tips and tricks to doing it, and that's good right there. Hi, chicken.
Hey, chicken.
Is he doing a good job? You're the chicken inspector? Oh, I think she says it looks good, Bill.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, she's trying to shake your hand or foot. So go ahead and start it up.
Yep.
Now go ahead and step on your brake. Feels weird, right?
Yeah.
And now just pump it a couple times. Feel normal now?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's go for a ride. Get it up to about 40. And then once you're up to 40, you're gonna press, not jamming the brakes, but slow down to about 20.
Okay.
How's it feel?
Still a little bit.
Go ahead. Do that about 5 times.
Okay.
No squealing, none of that stuff, so that's good. How's the pedal feel?
Good.
Feels hard?
Yeah.
Good brake?
Yep. Got something about it.
Okay. All right, so front rotors and brake pads are on, and he did pretty decent. It was his first time doing it. What'd you think?
It was a little, took a little finesse at some certain parts, but it was pretty easy. I mean, with Dan helping me out, it was pretty easy, but I think I'm ready to go next time.
Save a lot of money too.
Yeah.
Dealerships, you know, 700 plus, you know, it's crazy, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
So one thing we did notice, and front brakes are awesome. Stops on a dime. Got some trouble with the rears though. The rears haven't been replaced since what, 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
And I was like, what is that squealing noise? That better not be the brakes we just put on. And nope, it was coming from the back here. And sure enough, these rotors, those are shot. Yeah, and hardly any brake pad left. So stay tuned for a part 2. Part 2, rear brakes.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to get to this, but once again, we hope you guys like, enjoy, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as usual, we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
Bye, guys. You can't say goodbye without saying goodbye to me. All right, Olaf. We'll see you on the next one. All right. Bye, Obo. Bye, guys.